Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Subject custom quiere consultar consultarino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason.
Hey, happy New Year's Eve. Welcome to Wanna Bet. I'm Jason, that's Ben. We do this 7 days a week. We thank you for tuning in now. We hope you tune in regularly. If you're not able to watch us live, you can listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcast and wherever you get your podcast every single day. We're on our YouTube channel. We're on Twitter. We're cutting up more videos that we're putting on social media. We're adapting to betting markets and giving you guys live bets on our Twitter. So, we are excited about 2026 and where things are going at Wanna Bet. And we're excited about all the games we have to wager on this time of year. It is a cornucopia, Beltway Ben, of options. And we are delving into all those markets. And as well, unlike the Mooks and the Fools and the Shills, we don't pretend that last night didn't happen. We don't pretend the night before that didn't happen. We chronicle everything we've done since we launched on May 21st of this year, soon to be last year. We were great last night in college hoops. Loyola Marymount, slow start, missed a bunch of field goals, still covered that number in the end. A little sweaty, but not super sweaty. Great second half from Loyola Marymount. I think they're going to do a little bit of damage in that conference. Might be the third best team in that conference. And Pacific really struggles to score. Tennessee, slow start. We told you we thought they had a better chance of scoring 110 than they did 96, and they came in at 105. Despite Beltway Ben, I think they had 28 points with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left in the first half. So do the math on that one. And they still covered the 96.5. Easy. In the Premiership, Man U let Wolves score off a corner, pretty much the only way Wolves can score, the once a month when they do score, right at the end of the first half. That basically killed 3 bets for us. That killed our first half money line. It ended up killing our Man U -1. And it killed our parlay, our money line parlay. If they go into the half up 1-0, I feel very safe that even though Man U was playing like shite, that they score another goal on Wolves and win 2-0. But alas, that cost us 3 units, that goal at the end of the first half. And we did not get a goal from Semenyo. If you played the over 2.5 with us in Chelsea-Bournemouth, you were all over it. 4 goals in the first half. Beltway Ben, that's one of those where I went back and forth. Do I give out just over 3.5 goals at plus money, or do I try to do 2 for 1 and go over 2.5 with Semenyo, or do I go 3.5 and play Semenyo separately? How do I do it? I did it wrong, Beltway Ben. I did it wrong. And USC, that was them blowing a 10-point lead was something in the final minutes. When you blow a quarterback up from behind and you hit him and his arm moves forward because you drilled him in the back and they call it an incomplete pass, I mean, technically it's the right call. That kid had no idea what was going on there. That looked to me like a scoop score, touchdown USC, but alas. And then they had terrible tackling in overtime. Shit happens, Beltway Ben. What can we say? You got screwed in the Illinois-Tennessee game.
I got screwed multiple ways last night. Last night was just we finished down about 2 units, but the way that we lost and finished is what's brutal. Illinois' team total over 419.5 total yards. Basically a touchdown, we get the over. And we finished 1-1 in that game. No touchdown, they get the field goal and don't take 3 kneels. We also go 1-1. Preferably, I would have liked to see the touchdown, because the touchdown, of course, we would have probably gotten the yards. But I was trying to time it out, and they jump off sides, and I'm like, oh, my God, they're going to get a first down and then take kneels. And the commentary's not even talking about, they're like, do you score a touchdown here? I'm like, it's pretty clear what you do. You kneel the ball out and kick a field goal. So it's not a knock to the team for doing it. It's just like unfortunate and how accurate these numbers are. They get to 422, 1st and 10 with about 150 left. And I think they had 2 timeouts left or 1:30 left, and they had 2 timeouts left. So basically, they were trying to run clock. Quarterback rolls to the right, slides for a -2. I'm like, all right, we're at 120. One more negative play, I'm screwed, and there it was. So we get screwed there. LeBron has 4 assists at halftime, 4 assists with 6 minutes left in the second quarter, and didn't get another assist in the entire game.
Bro,
we also had our plus money parlay.
Lakers look cooked.
Oh, they're in trouble. We had our plus money parlay. Luka Doncic over 30.5 points, which for the majority I thought was good. The game was close enough. Luka down 20 heads to the free throw line with 30 points. Okay, these are both good, or one of them's good. Misses both, and the next whistle was subbed out. So, and that's a guy who had already made 11 free throws. By the way, I said I was going to give out his free throws on Twitter. Bet365 does not have that prop anymore. That is news to me.
Oh.
I'm not sure exactly what happened. But there are no more free throw props that I see there for now. He would have went over. I can tell you that. But
Sure.
didn't make the 2 that I needed. So we lost the NBA parlay. We lost Illinois over because, again, that's another game. That was 17 points in the first half, but in the second half, there was more than enough, right?
Right.
Lost their yards with negative plays. It was just a disappointing night based off of what we could have done.
Yeah, I did not watch as much as I normally did last night. Went to dinner with my wife. We had a lovely meal, and we went to see John Oliver at the Lyric Opera House. He was really good. I mean, I wasn't like blown away, but he was really good. But I did get home in time to see the end of the Marymount. And I got home in time to see USC shite the bed. We will be back on that Miami-Ohio State game late in the show, though, because I do still like that under.
We'll be on it early.
Price.
We will be on it early.
You're on it early?
Yeah.
Why don't we just go there? You want to do first down? Does that mess you up? It's a new
first
year.
down.
I'm like,
you can do
we
first
could go
down.
crazy with it.
Well,
You do first down?
You can do first down, so yeah.
All right. I asked the boss, and the boss said, you do it. So there you go. Did you notice that dynamic? I asked, and he told. Because Beltway Ben, there is no show without Beltway Ben. Any mook like me can give out bets. Beltway Ben's the one who actually gets the show on air, which I can't do. NBA, I've been cutting back lately because we're fully transparent here. Usually I kick ass in the NBA. This year's been a little slow for me. But we're going to jump the Spurs here on the money line at home to the Knickerbockers. Knickerbockers have covered one of their last 6 on the road. I'm not worried about laying the 1 or the 1.5 with the Spurs. I just want them to win the game. Do I think they can cover? Yeah. Why do I like this, though? Again, Knickerbockers covered one of their last 6 on the road. Knickerbockers 3-11 against the spread on the road this season, failing to cover those games on average by minus 3.2 points. So slightly over a possession. Knickerbockers are 0-3 against the number as a road dog this season. It's a revenge spot for the Spurs. We go back to the NBA Cup, neutral site. I think the Spurs were the better team for most of the game. Wemby was really on a pitch count. Knicks took it over late. But this is a full-blown home game for the Spurs, and I think they'll be up for it. How have the Knickerbockers fared this season, Beltway Ben, against top 12 NBA teams on the road? Failed to cover by 3.5, 7.5, 10.5, half a point, and 11.5 points. Spurs have lost 2 straight at home. I don't think they're losing 3 straight at home. They haven't lost 3 in a row of any sort, home, road, whatever, all season. I think the Spurs take care of business here.
Yeah, I mentioned it that we would get to that Ohio State game here, and we'll go there in first down. I'm going to play the Ohio State Buckeyes on the money line and total field goals of this game over 1.5 minus 115. This is a way for me to get Ohio State priced right on the money line. And the thing that I think is going to happen, I was considering giving out over 2.5 at plus money, but ultimately decided to just take over 1.5 and Ohio State on the money line. They've allowed Ohio State, the Buckeyes have allowed a field goal in 5 straight games. Their defense is great. They're one of the best in the country, probably the best in the country, but sometimes they do give up a few plays. The area that they really fix it is in the red zone. They don't give up a lot of touchdowns. Miami can get a few explosives, but I don't think they're going to find themselves in the end zone much. Miami, on the other hand, they've allowed a field goal in 5 of their last 7. No team they have played so far this year is as good as Ohio State. They're just not. Like, week 1 against Notre Dame was cool, but nobody they've played yet this year is Ohio State. You have 2 strong defenses. Miami's front 4 is a different wrecking ball. Like they're going to get after Sane a little bit, and I'm interested to see. We know they're going to blitz. We know they're going to guess a lot of times, and can Sane beat them over the top? That'll be interesting to see. But Ohio State's got a top 2 run defense in college football. I do think they'll hold them here. The one area of concern for a lot of people, the kickers. Carter Davis, 1 for 4 against Texas A&M last week. Before that, he missed just 2 kicks all year. I don't think that's a normal thing. They're going to be in a dome. It's a good spot here to kick. And then Jaden Fielding. He was one of the better kickers in the Big Ten. We know how good that he's been in his career at Ohio State. He misses a 27-yarder that would have tied the game against Indiana. That was a killer. But to me, that one was on Ryan Day. I think Ryan Day, when you're going to throw a pass on 3rd and short the way that he did, they should have gone for it. And Fielding's got to make that kick. But anytime you play for a field goal or coach the way that he did there, you usually get burnt. And he just did. I think in this spot, Ohio State bounces back from that Indiana loss. They got the bye week. They've been in this spot a ton of times. Christopher and Carson Beck, every time we've seen them in this spot, they've fallen on their face, and they've never been together. Yep. Now you're putting both of them there, and you're telling me they're going to have to beat a team as an underdog again together. I don't buy it. I think they lose. But I do expect either 2 from them, 2 from Ohio State, or 1 from each side. Give me Ohio State on the money line and the total field goals in this game over 1.5 at -115.
We're going crazy, Ben. Can you put it up there? Can you just put my play up there, and then I'll just do it now? I still like the under in this game. You can get it at 41.5 at FanDuel. We played it at 44.5. We took it up and went under as part of that parlay. Ben just laid it out. Defenses are the calling card for both teams. Beck will throw a back-breaking interception in the red zone. Ohio State, it's all about the end game. I don't think he needs to run up the score. I don't think he's worried about margin here. He wants to win this game, let his defense shine, survive in advance, and Cristobal is going to play it as close to the vest as long as he can and hang in there. So, this honestly to me could be 23-17, something like that. I'm not sure we crack 40 points here, let alone 42. All right, second down, I have college hoops plays. We'll do the St. John's one first. I think St. John's wins by double digits tonight against Georgetown. You can get it at -105, laying 8.5. St. John's has won 4 straight in D.C. against Georgetown. All 3 they've won by at least 9 points. The Hoyas are 2-10 against the spread. They failed to cover all 10 of those games by at least 2 possessions. They are 1-9 against the spread in their last 10 overall. The coach Cooley is whipping water bottles into the stands. And no, you know what? Nobody's talking about it in D.C. The Washington Post didn't even have a beat person there to write about it because nobody cares. Patino's all fired up because they're changing the rules on him on the fly, and he can't cheat as well as everybody else. He's got his team fired up, and this Johnny's team can play at better pace, and I think they can run up the score maybe better than last year's team, especially in a road spot here against Georgetown that isn't particularly distinguished defensively. The Johnnies last year, in case you forgot, 14-8-2 against the spread in conference play, 4-2-1 against the number last year as a road favorite. I don't know that this Georgetown's team is particularly good at much of anything. And I think St. John's might be more balanced than last year. I honestly like 13.5 in alt markets. I winked real dramatically if you're a Spotify or an Apple bottom. We also are going back to the CAA, maybe our favorite conference. Certainly one of our favorite conference to bet on. We love the Elon over the other night at 155.5. That game produced almost 200 points. Elon is dropping 90 on everybody, and Elon's not real great defending the 2-ball or the 3-ball. College of Charleston, they're not going to the tournament this year. Newsflash. I don't really love this edition of College of Charleston, but they've always got a 7-footer who can wreak havoc on the inside and score a bunch of easy baskets. And Elon won't be able to defend that. And the Phoenix are just an out-and-out dead over team. Here's Elon's total games points the last 8 games. 194, 160, 163, 143, 164, 125, 185, 175. They trend up, as most teams do, in their efficiency at home. Like College of Charleston's allowing teams to shoot 45% from 3-point. That's going to be a problem against Elon. And College of Charleston did get this kid back, a guard, Dugan, used to be at Campbell, was a one-man gang for the Campbell Camels last year. Everybody know you take him away, they can't beat you, and he'd still be scoring 25, 27. He came back the other night, looked like he was on a minutes restriction, still scored 15. I think he'll be able to do a little bit more tonight. And Elon scores, they don't defend. Also, College of Charleston gets to the line a ton, and they foul a ton. And free throws are a beautiful thing when you're on the over. So we're on that over at 165.5, minus 110.
I'm going to go to the NBA here. A guy that I talked about during the show a lot coming into the season, how high I was on him. We're going to play Matas Buzelis over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists at minus 118. We have no Josh Giddey, and it's going to be that way for a few weeks. Kobe White is also out. The last time that he played without these two, he's done it just twice this season. 37 points, rebounds, and assists. Killed it scoring. Grabbed 14 boards. Did everything he needed to. The game before that, he had just 15 and 5. Finished at 20, so 3 less, or 3 short. But this game is expected to be tight. Last game, they just play the Timberwolves. Get blown off the court. Giddey goes down the first few seconds into the second half. 12 points, rebounds, and assists for Buzelis in those 10 minutes in the second half without Giddey. It was only 10 minutes because they got blown out, and in the fourth quarter, he only played 2 minutes and was pulled because they were down 30-plus points. That's expected in a game like that. Now here, you're playing a team where I can't buy anything either of these teams are selling. I don't think that either one is in a very good spot. I do lean the Pelicans tonight, which I will get to as soon as we finish this play right here. But no, I just think when you look at, well, I'll get to that in fourth along actually, but when you look at the matchup for him and what he can do, how aggressive he is on the glass, especially when you don't have Giddey stealing 11 or 12, when you don't have Kobe White and Giddey combining for 15 assists, they have to be added somewhere else. And we're going to see Buzelis a little bit more aggressive looking to score because he has to be. You can't have Vooch shooting 20 shots, Kevin Huerter chucking 15 threes, Dosunmu just taking everything to the bucket. Like Buzelis was a first-round pick here. They have a lot of hope for him. He's exploded over this with just points before. We've seen that multiple times, and that's with Giddey on the court. Now, you could tell me Giddey facilitating and doing what he can do helps that, but Buzelis is a dog. We've seen him get to the bucket when they didn't play together, as I said before, with Kobe White and Giddey. So I just think in a spot against the Pelicans defense that has been complete and utter trash this season, and there's no Herb Jones, like he probably will get the Trey Murphy assignment, but I'm not too worried. I think Buzelis adds a lot on the glass. I think he picks up 2 to 3 assists, which should be just enough to get us, 15 to 20 points, and I think we clear.
Our triple-double fetish has taken a hit here with no Giddey and no Joker. For
100%. 100%.
That's a
but that might be better odds.
Triple-double parlays are, I mean, look, Cade Cunningham can do it every now and again. And Embiid was a guy who used to be alive in those markets when he's healthy, which isn't very often. That's obviously taken a hit.
Cooper Flagg will start. I'm telling you now, Cooper Flagg, I don't know if it's this year or next year. He's going to be a triple-double guy regularly, I think. Yeah.
Denny Avdia. I got to look at some.
Yes.
Spurs.
Yes, that dude. We gave him away for nothing.
Got Spurs on the brain from first down. Third down, let's do a little NCAA foosball. I like the Iowa Hawkeyes to beat Vandy. You can get it at plus 173. Iowa's got an elite D. I look at their secondary, a lot like Nebraska. I see a lot of future NFL players. They've got length. They've got wingspan. They can bully you. They can press man you and beat you up. This Stowers kid is not playing for Vandy. Vandy's quarterback is 3'5", maybe 3'6'7". 3 feet, 6, 7 inches tall. I think that's going to be a problem against this Iowa defense. I think the Big Ten is really legitimate this year, and I think the SEC's a little fugazi. Iowa's 7-0 against the spread against winning teams. Iowa's 4 losses are by a total of 15 points. And I think if Vandy has to throw too much, there will be turnovers. I just think Iowa can be more physical. I think Iowa is the better football team, and I think they can dictate pace, tempo, grind it out, make it their kind of game for almost 2-1. I like the Hawkeyes. Look, we were on Navy a while back as part of a parlay with Army, and we took the Army number up and under, and it still went over because Army threw the ball 5 times, and they were all like 50-yard touchdowns. I wish I was lying. You can look it up. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but not by much. So that game went over because Army scored like 40 freaking points on UConn. And the Navy line moved. Like, Navy originally, like, was Cincinnati was a small favorite, and then it was kind of even, and then Navy was favored by as much as 8.5, and now you can find it -7 at -110 standard price. And I like it. And I look, I'm also on Navy -7.5 plus 110. Am I chasing money that I've lost on a parlay already? Maybe. I'm like I said, we're fully transparent here. But service academies and bowl games get it done. Their kids don't opt out. Cincinnati's had plenty of opt-outs. Navy has been a dominant physical team, and they've been a great first-half team. And if they do what they normally do in the first half, are Cincinnati's backups going to, like, I don't even – and backdoor cover, I don't know, man. This kid Horvath's a monster. Navy's style of play is a bear. They're well-rested after beating Army, but it's not like they haven't played in 6 weeks or something like that. Like some of these other teams, I think Navy's going to win this game by more than a touchdown.
We're going to stick with college football here. We're going to play a team rushing total. This is a big number. We're playing Utah's team rushing over 206.5 at -114 in a matchup with Nebraska later today. If you didn't follow them much during the season, Nebraska had one of the best passing defenses in the country, probably the best in the Big Ten, outside of maybe Ohio State. And their run defense was complete trash. And it continued to break down in big spots and hurt them in a lot of big games. And that's a big reason that Rule's seat started getting a little hot. Raiola's transferring. I know he's on the offensive end, but things got ugly down the stretch for this Nebraska team. And I don't think there's any fixing it this season right now because it's not college basketball where, as we've seen with Baylor, you can just add somebody in the middle of the year that's played professional basketball. No, it's college football. You have a lot of guys opting out. A very weird situation here for Nebraska where a lot of dudes are frustrated. Now, you're going to tell me Utah's coach left, Whittingham left. What's going on there? This team is still bought in to this guy. They like him a lot. They're confident in what he built there and playing for this school. Dan Pierre, who is a good passer, but is an even better runner as a quarterback, he will be playing. And I talk to you guys all the time during the season when we first saw these props populate earlier in the year, like week 5. A running quarterback is a man's best friend for this prop. A guy that is not going to lose 27 yards because he got sacked a few times. If he gets sacked here, I'm still fine with him canceling it out because he's going to run the ball. They're going to hand the ball off a lot. Their passing game's fine, but against a good Nebraska passing defense, I would think they play it smart here. Let your run game eat. And 200 again sounds like a lot. They've cleared 300 multiple times. They've gone over this a bunch, down the stretch especially. And Nebraska has allowed a number of opponents over this number. Teams who don't have the offensive line that Utah has, teams who don't have a running quarterback like Utah has, and teams who just don't have that type of offense that's going to be ground and pound. Let Dan Pierre beat you occasionally, but let him use his legs and make some running plays. So give me the Utah team total over 206 rushing yards, -114. Also, I saw someone comment on our YouTube. I say team total over. That sounds fine, I thought. I mean, a team total rushing. Like total rushing. They were like shocked. They couldn't believe that I said team total, like it was team total points. No, team
it's
total
team rushing total.
Exactly.
What are you supposed to say?
That's where I am. I was confused. I was like, do I sound dumb? And I'm like, oh no, it sounds, the more I say it, it sounds normal. Their team total rushing yards
maybe
over.
We should start putting polls up on the WannaBet Twitter. That maybe that's a poll question.
That could be.
Who's the mook here?
Remember the AJ?
You
I think
for
the only
saying
poll,
it, or some guy for saying team rushing team total over is a bad thing. Is wrong.
We did the last poll we did have. The last poll we had, AJ Barner. Does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? And we've yet to bet him since.
Yeah,
we got more yes votes than no. I will say that. So AJ Barner, you're on a good track. Hopefully in the playoffs, if he comes through for us in the playoffs, he's in the back of the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Everybody's jockeying for position, Beltway, Ben. It's hard to get in, man.
They are.
It's hard to get in. Fourth down. I've got a 4th and long and a 4th and short. You got 4th and long up there, so I will ride with that first. Is this really a 4th and long play? Who's to say? The game's on Saturday. It's not really a long time. But when I see anytime touchdown numbers I like, it's best to just get them immediately because those markets move the most the closer we get to game time. Give me Mike Evans to score on Saturday against Carolina. It's what he does. Last 10 games against Carolina, he's got a touchdown in 8 of them. 12 total touchdowns in the last 10 games against the Panthers. He got one against them last time. He didn't do much else in that game. And he can be smothered, but in a do-or-die situation, when everything's broken with Tampa's passing game, I just think Baker, goal-to-go situations, if they sell out to take away the run, Mike Evans is always open. He knows where the jump ball's going, and Horn or whoever else doesn't. At plus 150, like I told myself, if this opens and I can make $1.50 on my dollar, I'm going to jump it. And it did. So I did. I do think we get a little bit of scoring in that game as well. I think that game gets a little loose. And I just can't imagine, with the state of their passing game, again, being as broken as it is, that Mike Evans doesn't get force-fed targets around the goal line. Oh, I guess they're both 4th and long. What am I talking about? They're both 4th and long.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
I'm the mook. My other 4th and long. Jackson Smith and Jigba to have a reception of 30 yards or more, a long of 30 yards or more. I hope I'm saying that right. Minus 115. He's done this 12 of 16 games this year. San Francisco's allowed a pass of 30 yards or more 14 times this year. San Francisco's defense is broken. They don't have linebackers who can cover. They don't have corners or safeties with ball skills. They bite on double moves. And Shaheed might not play in this game. And Darnold's going to take his shots. And Jackson Smith and Jigba's another one of these guys who he's open even when he's not. He's one of the best deep ball catchers in the NFL. He can also explode for yak. I can't imagine he does not get 12 targets in this game. Like, how are you going down in a get the 1 seed, get a week off as a reward without force feeding your best player? Darnold trust him in any situation. So I don't know that you're going to be able to get that at minus 115 for much longer. Look, in those markets, I usually like plus money, but for a guy this public, this obvious, to do something he's done pretty much every week against a defense that's allowing it to happen pretty much every week, I wanted to get it to you guys early.
Yeah, we're going to go 4th and weird. Just a simple prop.
I love 4th and weird.
Zion Williamson.
I haven't done one yet.
No, you have not. That is true. You have not.
You should throw the gauntlet down. I challenge ye to concoct a 4th and weird.
Yeah, find a 4th and weird out there. But no, Zion's up to 29 minutes since his return, right? We know they're slowly getting it back. They're bringing him off the bench, trying to figure out how to make sure that he can stay healthy for as long as they have. And quite honestly, this was a play that probably multiple times through his career, you could have bet field goals made a few games, maybe not that high, a few numbers short, but 14.5 field goals attempted is a low number for a superstar. Now this year, he hasn't been going over it much. Even when he was playing 30 plus minutes, he wasn't clearing it regularly. A lot of games we saw him finish right around 14. The first month of the season, the first few games, he went over it in 3 of his first 4. After that, it was 14, 13, 9, 13, right around the number. Over his last 4 games, he's over it just twice. Over his last 5, he's still over twice, but that 5th game, he finished with 14. I think against the Bulls, he's going to find out early on he can attack these guys. And a few times through this year, we've seen with Zion, he gets frustrated and wants to, really show what he can do and show that he's still that guy. And he's yelling at Derek Queen and Jeremy Fears, get me the damn ball, give me the damn ball. And he's frustrated, yelling at him. We've seen it, watching their games a lot. It's been pretty clear that he wants the ball more. He wants to have more of an impact on these games. If that's the case, he will be shooting the ball 15 times. This should be a game start to finish that is tight, that we see played to a very, very close number. They've lost 4 in a row, but they've been really tight in almost all of those games. I think Zion will be aggressive looking to score. And then the other play. I said if they were going to be plus money, I was taking them regardless. I don't care where they are. If it is plus money, I will be betting them on the money line. The New Orleans Pelicans on the money line at plus 110. Ben, why are you betting a team with the 3rd worst record in the NBA on the money line? Because the Bulls, with no Kobe White and no Josh Giddey, are in a very, very bad spot. They have a bunch of role players, and Vucevic, who's constantly called out this team for bad defense, not getting him the ball enough, not understanding how to run an offense. Like, things aren't good there. Billy Donovan, everybody was propping him after the first few weeks of the season. They had the best record in the NBA. They had been so damn good. Since, it's been ugly, and that's with Giddey on the court. Now, I said it before, the Pelicans have lost 4 straight, but before that, they were on a 4-game winning streak, including a win by 10 points over this Bulls team with Josh Giddey, with Kobe White. So those guys were playing there. I think in this spot, the Pelicans are relatively healthy. Alvarado's still on suspension. The one more game for the Mark Williams situation. Herb Jones is out. Solid defender, 3-and-D guy, but they're not without Murphy. They're not without Zion. Derek Queen's still playing great basketball. They're finding out what they have in Fears, and Jordan Poole's still there. Sadiq Bey, another good addition. I just think with what they have tonight compared to what the Bulls have, I like the Pelicans on the money line, especially, I don't care where the game is. I like it at plus money.
Couple quick things. If you go hard into the field goal attempt markets, as you have been, at some point, does that disqualify it from being fourth and weird? Because it almost becomes fourth and regular. Are you concerned about that at all, and whether that truly would belong in fourth and weird? Or is it automatically because it's field goal attempts?
It's automatically weird.
It automatically qualifies.
Anything
even if
that
you did it 5 straight days?
Yes, absolutely. Because it's just a weird thing. Anything that I haven't bet at all, this is my first year betting field goal attempts because I've never had the opportunity. Bet365 brought that along. Thank you for them. But
yes,
to me, it's just a weird bet. It's something that not many people bet, not many people can. But a few books are opening it. I like it.
In hindsight, I have made fourth and weird bets. We just hadn't come up with this yet. The first 4.5.
Yes.
In baseball,
yes.
That 365 started offering. Remember, I started getting in the first 4.5.
I was
That's
confused.
Pretty weird. I'm dying.
I remember texting you saying, "Did you type something wrong? Did you mean to
I'm
say
like,
first
no,
5?
Go check 365. When did we got the 365? Came to Maryland in like July or something like that. This is when you know you're a DJ. I had a dream last night, and I never remember my dreams. I had a dream last night that like we're doing the show, and like I wasn't betting baseball. And I'm like, why am I not betting baseball? Why am I not betting baseball? But like in the dream, it was like baseball season. But like I kept forgetting to bet baseball. But like there's nothing else to bet. So WNBA. I don't know what I was betting.
WNBA
I don't know
soccer.
what I supplemented it. Yeah, but maybe because the World Cup's coming. Yeah, but like even in July, I mean, there was like Gold Cup or whatever. But like I just remembered like getting mad at myself, like, damn it, another day you didn't give them any baseball plays.
So
well, I mean, I don't even want to know what a shrink would think of that. Would think of that dream. And dude, I remember dreams like once a year. And I'm walking the dogs before the show, trying to analyze the dream that I woke up to do Kornheiser. Shout out to the Littles. And I'm like, what do I mean I didn't bet baseball? There is no baseball. Anywho,
I'll hold you to that.
Also,
you're betting baseball this year.
Who is that on your? Because I have a second screen over Ben's head on my return in my box, so I can't see the top of Ben's head. Who is that on your skull cap?
CCBC Dundalk, team captain.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that's my beanie. I would throw this on. I always like this one. It's beat down. I would wear it right after I pitched because it would be freezing. Be playing in February and March. But shout out to CCBC Dundalk Lions,
which was formerly Essex Community College, home of the great Sonny Askew from Highlandtown, my neighborhood, who played for the U.S. national team on numerous occasions. And also played on the Washington Dips with one Johan Cruyff. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, Sonny played with him.
CCB has a lot of notable alums.
Yeah. Sonny Askew's hell of a ball player. Everybody would say the greatest soccer player to come out of Baltimore, which is saying something. I know Santino Carante, there's other guys, Paul Skirty, other guys from around here, from Highlandtown, from East Baltimore, from my neighborhood, from the 21224, who represented the U.S. internationally. Anywho, overtime. Let's stay in the soccer markets. We tell you, overtime, we give you football and or football parlays every day while we still can. Won't be for that much longer in the football markets. Erling Haaland is the top scorer in the Premiership. It's not even close. He didn't score last week. He will score against Sunderland tomorrow. Haaland, anytime goal, plus our guy Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who scored in 6 straight for the mighty Leeds United. Leeds at Anfield to take on Liverpool. Liverpool been shoddy in the back. I think there's goals in this game. Both of these teams lately have been playing BTTS games. Leeds, I think, has played 8 straight in the Prem. this series, if you go and look at the last 6 times Liverpool and Leeds have played, goals, goals, goals. Everything for Leeds is flowing through Calvert-Lewin right now. He's absolutely on fire. He's getting a ton of touches in the box. He will convert penalties if they draw penalties, as will Holland. And I think Sunderland is overdue for a loss at home. Stadium of Light. Eventually, you're going to go home crying. And in this case, I think Holland's going to have something to do with that as City battle. Arsenal won yesterday. So City are 5 down going into this match in the table. City have to win at Stadium of Light, and I think they will. And I think they will poach them numerous times. So that's 403. We also like Calvert-Lewin anytime goal, which you can get. These are at FanDuel, not 365. FanDuel have much better odds on these. Calvert-Lewin anytime goal for the mighty Leeds United plus 230. Those matches are tomorrow. We also have a little NFL foosball parlay. Vikings-Packers under 42.5. Panthers-Bucks over 39.5. And the Jags to beat the Titans by at least 7. Why do we like these? Have you watched Brian Flores' defense lately? They want this dude to get a head coaching job. They are shutting cats out, and Green Bay is not going to play anybody. Minnesota's under in 7 of their last 8 games, Beltway Ben. Those games have closed on average with a betting total of 45 points. Those games have averaged 36 points. We're taking it up. Why? Because we get bit in the ass too much. Do I mind this at the standard number right now, 37.5? I don't. I'm also on that. It's what's his face quarterback in Minnesota. I just think that's a play out the season, and Flores' defense continuing to shine. Carolina and Tampa. It was 23-20 when they played last time. When they play, usually there's points, goals, goals, goals. They've gone over in 6 straight meetings. Those games have closed at 44 and averaged 54 points per game. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these teams have topped 48 points. Tampa against the division, 6-2 to the over, their last 8 divisional home games. Carolina, 4-1 to the over, their last 5 divisional road games. A special teams return, a pick 6, anything like that, really will help us get to 40. But I think this could be 20-20 late, and somebody's got to score to win. There will be no ties in this game. I guess there could still be a tie. I take that back. Well, guess what? At 39.5, 20-20 tie, we still cash. But I think this one has the potential to get a little loose. And then look, Jacksonville's a machine right now. That line is pushing 13. We're cutting it in half. We're taking 6.5. Tennessee is 3-14 against the spread their last 17 divisional games. Jacksonville's 12-4-1 against the spread their last 17 divisional games. Jags are a covering machine this year, 11-5 against the number. Jags have scored 27 points or more in 7 of their last 9. And again, this thing is pushing 2 touchdowns. We're taking Jacksonville to win by 1, eradicating some backdoor coverage there. Those 3 plus 193 at the DraftKings.
Yeah, I'm going to go to a few NBA plays, a college football play, and an NFL play. We have a few things here for overtime. We'll start with the NBA parlay. Anthony Edwards, 25-plus points. Wemby, 20-plus points. Buzelis, 10-plus points. And Giannis, 8-plus rebounds, plus 150. Giannis burned us the last time he played the Wizards, if you don't remember that. But he's back. He's looked better. We discussed it on the show. We discussed it off air. He didn't seem right against the Wizards. He was clearly still banged up, but lately he's looked good. He's looked pretty aggressive. They still got him on a minutes restriction, but I don't think it'll be an issue against the Wizards team who's allowing rebounds to somebody. I don't know that it's Portis. I think it's going to be Giannis here. Anthony Edwards, 25-plus points. That matchup for him today, we're going to get to him in just a second. I don't see how that they shut him down. Anthony Edwards is a different type of beast. My favorite player for anybody who doesn't know. If you saw what he did against Denver, Atlanta's a much worse defense. So give me Ant for 25. Wemby against the Knicks, who just beat him in the NBA Cup. He's going to show up. And the minutes are going up. And then Buzelis, we broke down earlier. I was considering giving him out a 15-plus for this parlay, which would have got us in the plus 200s, but ultimately just went with 10 to be a little safe. Next play. Anthony Edwards, 30-plus points at minus 110. This is a massive number, and he's gone under this in 2 straight. But everybody remembers Christmas night against Denver where he showed up in the big moment. Today, New Year's Eve, it's an early game, weird type of spot. He's going to have to be aggressive. I just think that he will. Their team is not playing great basketball right now. There's no way around it. And last game was a blowout. He had 23, didn't even need to play in the fourth quarter, played like a minute or two in the fourth quarter. If he's got 23 points in the fourth quarter today, especially if it's a close game, because the Hawks seem like they're getting a lot of guys healthy, I would expect him to score 30 with no issues. Minus 110 for 30 plus points is tough, but Anthony Edwards is a top 5 player in the NBA right now, scoring the basketball. Julius Randle has kind of taken a seat back, letting Ant score, distributing assists, grabbing some boards. Other guys aren't really scoring for them. They need him to continue doing what he's doing. This play we'll get to a little bit more tomorrow in terms of the Texas Tech side of things. Ohio State on the money line and Texas Tech on the money line plus 175. Like Ohio State here. Texas Tech's my big dog of the week. I think they're going to beat Oregon. I think they're in a really good spot.
I hope not.
I like their defense. I know for your future it's not good. But I don't know. I just looking at what they've had offensively. The quarterback situation scares me a little bit just because he can't make as many plays with his legs as the freshman did, and the freshman's out with injury. But I don't know that Oregon's going to be able to score enough points on Texas Tech. I think they're going to be able to shut Moore down a little bit. That defense gets after it. They can run the football a little bit. I like Texas Tech a lot in this spot at plus money. I couldn't believe that they were giving them out at plus money. I thought it'd be more of a pick 'em. But lastly, parlay for Saturday. One of our plus 100 parlays. I wanted to do it early because I don't think these numbers will get us plus 109 at the time of the game. Bucky Irving, 40-plus rushing yards. Tet McMillan, 40-plus receiving yards. And Mike Evans, 3-plus receptions, plus 109. Ugly passing offense for Tampa Bay of late. They're still throwing the ball to Mike Evans when he's on the field. And it hasn't been pretty, but against a divisional opponent, must win, need to get to the playoffs. If your wide receiver one doesn't get 3 receptions, I don't know what to say. That's going to be more of an indictment on Baker or Mike Evans dealing with another injury. Tampa Bay's pass defense has been bad. I don't think they're going to be able to stop Tet from getting 40-plus receiving yards. Jason just explained what he thought about the game in terms of points. I side with him there. I think it's going to be fast offense, throwing the football. But even when they do run for Tampa Bay, I think Bucky's going to have a strong day. Carolina does not stop to run well. It was an issue earlier in the year. They put the Band-Aid on it to stop it for a few weeks, as we've seen around the NFL in some areas. And then it went right back down, and they're in a pretty bad spot right now. Bucky's the best running back on this team. As long as they're not inside the 5, Sean Tucker won't be on the field. Rashad White isn't getting a lot of touches in the run game. Passing game's a different story. So give me Bucky 40-plus rushing, Tet McMillan 40-plus receiving, and Mike Evans 3-plus receptions, plus 109.
Excellent. But wait, Ben, if you don't mind letting everybody know how it went last night, how it's gone since we launched on May 21st. Still hovering around 50 units up for you guys in total. A lot of inventory here, a lot of markets to sort through with everything, including college hoops and conference play at that. Back full bore. We're going to have 2 shows for you on Thursday because Friday I'm going to be doing the family thing with my family in D.C. all day. It's rare that all 5 of us are together, the 2 kids home from college. So we're going to go to some museums and have fun in D.C. and we're going to leave early. So we're going to do a normal show tomorrow. What time do you want to do that one, Bubbly Ben? Show number 1.
10:30 to 11. Probably 10:30.
Okay. So around 10:30 tomorrow, we will get you our plays for Thursday. And then late Thursday night, we will get you our plays for Friday. And then Saturday, we're thinking around 10, right?
Yeah.
Saturday at 10, and then Sunday we're at 11, as always. So there you go. We've got a plan of attack. We've got a lot of markets to attack, and we've got a ton of games to watch, stuff going on all times a day here through the weekend. And we will get you guys as prepared as we can. We appreciate the feedback, the emails. You can keep those coming if you don't mind. Want to bet with us at gmail.com. It'll be on the screen when Ben puts the graphic up there, and we get to hear the ska music on the way out. You want to bet. We want to bet. We sincerely thank you for betting with us in 2025. We're fired up about 2026.